the San Antonio media yesterday and said this about getting to play with Victor Wembanyama.
Victor being here helped too, obviously, and them having a young team and getting a chance to watch him, right? Like I played against him this season, and I tell you, there's probably no player in the league that everybody in the league talks about after the game like him, because everybody has to adjust stuff. Me and Harrison was on our flight yesterday just talking about how cool it's going to be at this point in our careers to get a chance to appreciate him day in and day out. You know, so that definitely helped.
Paul, how valuable will Chris Paul be to the Spurs?
He's going to be super valuable, Skip. And I say this, and me and KG always talk about this. I think every young star needs a valuable vet in that locker room. Because when you look at it, he got the talent. He's going to be great. But when you look at the San Antonio Spurs, outside of Popovich, who's going to hold Wemby accountable in the locker room? Who's going to give him some game on how to be a leader? Who's going to be an influence, an impact with him on and off the court? You know, and I feel the same way guys like Ja Morant, guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think they need to put a Westbrook in that locker room. You know, because look at what has happened in Houston. It's done wonders once they added some vets. Look at, they turned it all the way around because of that. So just having Chris Paul in the locker room, a guy who's surefire Hall of Famer, who understands what it takes to be great day in and day out, on and off the court to show Victor and tell him and hold him accountable, because that's the most important thing. You know, right now, Victor is the guy, and you know, who's going to tell him when he's not practicing hard, or when he misses a screen, or, you know, when he misses whatever it is on the court, and that he's going to respect. He's going to have the attention of Chris Paul. And I really like this move at bringing in a vet like this, and I feel like every young team with a young star needs that, because it shows. It shows where you can go when you have that. I mean, like, the biggest example right now for me is Houston. I mean, a year ago before this year, they were I hated watching them play. All young guys could do whatever they want, but when they got some guidance, when they added Brooks and they added my guy from Toronto, the point guard, you know what I'm talking. But they added veterans is what I'm saying, and it changed the culture.
It did.
So I like the move on and off the court.
This is easy. This is an easy move for Chris Paul. And the reason it's an easy move...
But he's not chasing a ring. He doesn't have a ring.
It's easy.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
He's not. He's come to the realization in his mind that chasing rings, I've been chasing rings for the last couple teams.
Yes.
Okay, even though he went to OKC and they did well with him. I mean, they did well.
They did.
He was older and they did well. Then he goes to a young team in Phoenix, essentially, and they go to the NBA final.
Yeah.
Whatever little bit.
I still say they missed him, but go ahead.
No, they may have missed him. They may have missed him and moving him to Golden State, whatever the case is. But that team with a young superstar still made it to the NBA Finals, but Chris Paul was on that team. So like Paul is saying, he left something in that locker room. He left something in the minds of those young players to understand how to play. And so when you look at where he's at now, you just never know. Man, they might make a run. You just never know.
I agree.
You just never.
I think his impact is going to be more off the court.
Okay.
No, I'm not asking him. But I'm not asking him to score 25 points. All I'm asking him to do is run the offense, be a leader, set Wemby up, put him in.
I don't even know if he's even going to start.
Well, I think he's going to start.
Well, maybe.
No, I think he's going to start. Because as he said, he wasn't happy.
38.
But I don't even think you're looking at the age. He can still play, though, man.
The San Antonio team need to get up and down the court. He don't play at that pace. I don't mind him coming off the bench.
I don't think he could have stayed. He could have gone anywhere to come off the bench. He could have stayed in L.A. and played for one of these two teams coming off the bench.
You guys think he's starting for San Antonio?
I think he's starting in San Antonio.
So
based on what he said, I don't know, but based on what he said,
30-ish minutes?
Based on what CP3 said, like, I'm just going off what CP3 said. He said he could have stayed close to home.
He did. He's
frustrated about not playing as much. So that tells me he anticipates on playing a lot, because somebody done told him he's going to play a lot. And that somebody is Greg Popovich.
I would think so.
So, you know, he makes this decision to go there because he can help. He can help bring this franchise back.
Think about this. Trey Jones was the point guard most of the year last year, and he averaged 6.2 assists a game. That ranked 18th in the league, which is still top 20. I'm just saying that Wemby is so good. You can roll out of bed and get 6 assists.
Yeah.
Chris Paul might threaten to lead the league in assists next year. He might.
That,
you don't see it?
I don't need that.
Okay. All right.
I don't need that style of play anymore.
All right.
In the league.
Okay.
So you don't think he can get up and down the court no more?
Listen, guys.
I'm just asking you.
I love Chris Paul, fabulous career, but that style of play as a pure point guards are not in the league anymore. Like, they don't, there's like, these guards, these pure point guards are not, just like the power forwards of the Oakleys and the Rick Mahorns is not in the league no more. If you're not a shooting guard, a point guard posing as a shooting guard, you're pretty much out the
He
league.
gets to his spots and knocks down his little 17-footers.
He can, and he'll shoot 35 or 36% from three. He'll be okay.
No.
But think about, and to your credit, you called this the first show you did this year before the season started. You said he could be Defensive Player of the Year, Wemby. And I'm looking at what he did last year as a rookie.
He should have won defense.
He should have. He had 64. Think about this: 64 more blocks than anybody. Chet was second. 64 behind Wemby? Are you kidding?
I don't know
how are you not Defensive Player of the Year?
Because Rudy Gobert.
Because of what? I don't know. Reputation? What reputation? And remember this. Pop didn't play him high minutes because Wemby only played 29.7 minutes a game. That ranks 79th in the league. So he's blocking these shots, playing fairly mid-level minutes.
Yeah.
And he's shooting threes like crazy. So Wemby tried 6 threes a game. He shot 6 threes, and he came up a little bit at the end of the year. He got up to 33%. But my point is, he averaged 21, 11, and 4 assists. 21, 11, and 4. You don't think Chris can sort of capitalize on that? Can he help that? Can he maximize? Can he?
I think he's going to give more help off the court for Wemby.
Okay.
He's gonna, the thing is, his value is more off the court for him than what it's going to be, because I don't see Chris Paul playing 30 minutes. Like you said, Wemby played 29.
How many minutes did he play for Golden State?
I got
would guess
26.
Okay, and he said out of his mouth, he does not want to play those type of minutes. He wants to play basketball.
But if I'm a young team trying to develop, that's not going to make
it.
Yes.
But if I'm a young team who's trying to develop, and we're not making the playoffs, why am I going to play Chris more minutes than a young guy I'm trying to develop?
I still don't know how they were 22 and 60 with those numbers he put up. 22 and 60?
I mean, you still got Vassell over there at the guard.
He can play.
He can play.
Yeah.
So I don't want Chris taking too many minutes from these other guys. Like I said, his value is going to be in that locker room.
Yeah.
He don't think his value is just in the locker room.
It's going to be his influence.
This
is going to be his value.
CP3
it's going to be his value when we're sitting on the bus for these long bus rides to the airport. We're on these long plane rides.
I'm not sure Chris is.
Chris ain't thinking that.
Yeah.
Chris, like, I'm playing. I don't give a damn what Paul Pierce said.
Even if he does play, I just feel like his value is more valuable.
In a moment, Young Money joins us to debate whether the Dallas